Welcome, friends. OG Murphy here with you. We're getting ready to run some Pathfinder Second Edition ish. It's all a homebrew rule setting, homebrew rules, homebrew setting. There's also not a politically correct game. All the warnings are there for a reason. The cursing and the language and the blah 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 blah. It's just dudes like dicking around, and no offense is ever intended. Hopefully none is taken. We always start these off with a section called Thoughts and Feelings, which kind of takes place of the traditional recap, where our players tell us about how their characters are thinking or feeling about something about where we're beginning the session. Sometimes I give like a really brief recap to start that off. So without further ado, let's get back to it. And
So
we're live. So what's up, guys? I'm cutting out. I know you guys are still debating time. And I'm gonna. I could not hear a word, but I know you guys are still debating time. It is time for some tabletop RPGs. Welcome back to the table, guys. I am super stoked that we get to do this every week. And kind of like we were talking about before we got started here, it's just amazing to be able to tell these stories together. When I do it by myself, I get writer's block all the fucking time. Doing it together is so easy and seamless. So, without further ado, where we are at in that story now is you guys are on this like overarching quest to collect these ancient relics, which once destroyed dragons and will likely need to be used to destroy dragons in the near future, based on what we have started to see and the cities that have been leveled by things like dragons and kobolds. So you guys are outside of Frostholm after fighting this ice worm. There are, and seeing many more other ice worms like out there, these avalanches. What all of it was triggered by is not particularly clear. But, you know, they were kind of like immediately upon you as of like landing via the teleportation circle from Othiris, as the kind of like head honcho teleporting guys down there are like, yo, we'll get you out where you need to go. You're looking for this piece. You know, you found this journal that had this loose area. This is one of them. Boom, go and check that shit out. So you guys, you know, made this battle, and I believe managed to finagle it so that you are all flying in some way, shape, or form, with the exception of Galfast, who is playing cards in the void space of the hole with Banjo, and has this like spell that allows him to hold his breath for 8 hours, which is more than enough time for you guys to kind of like travel here. One of the items you picked up is this helmet, which Reed put on and saw, you know, this fucking dragon in the sky, and saw no town. And this thing shows the previous age. So, you know, now there is a town and no dragon. But there is another one of these energy balls, ever-roiling storm magic, you know, something at the top of this mountaintop, which you guys are able to see from your vantage point. You can see the town below, and you guys are kind of at that critical nexus point where you have to decide, like, are we gonna like land outside and walk through the gates like normal? Are we going to just like fucking land in town somewhere? Are we sailing over town? Like, are we interested in whatever the fuck the energy ball is? Because we've got such a great track record with those. So how we feeling, guys? How we feeling? Let's get that dice roll. Start us off. 2 is not me, but Aaron. How's your character feeling?
Galfast is good. I mean, we just slayed the beast. We had to get out of there pretty quick, but you know, like I said, things are looking up for Galfast. We're out of the big city. We're into a small town. There's going to be people to exploit. What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Who's next, bud?
I will have a Tesk.
A Tesk.
Tesk is actually pretty happy at the moment.
Okay.
Just to get the fuck out of that city, and go somewhere new that he's never been before, and he knows like generally how Valmune is laid out, so he knows like where nearly as far away from the College of the Arcane Arts as we can possibly get.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that also makes him like pretty happy too. Getting attacked by the worm kind of sucked, but you know, we've seen worse. So
Yeah.
he's excited to see what this new city has to offer.
Cool. Love that. Who's next, bud?
Joe.
Reed.
Hey, Reed is feeling pretty good. You know, we are at the very least on our way to either intercept the people that are looking for the next armor piece or obtain the next armor piece before they do. Super curious to know about like what is up with the people of Frostholm. Why do they have, you know, their equivalent version of Iomede's light here? Curious about that. As far as the armor piece goes, he feels like he's kind of looking for a needle in a haystack, though. Like this is huge,
Yep.
big country out here, and you know it's the next set of armor might be the sword that we're looking for. So not, you know, swords are only how big?
So it's
You're asking us? Don't you wield one?
Right. That's yes.
They're not that big.
Let's go with, but that's Reed.
Cool.
I think the only person left is Soto.
No, there's two. But if we're no, you've chosen. So fucking Kythar, where's he at?
Well, Soto himself is also playing two characters. I'm gonna go ahead and just get Rowan out of the way, and then do Kythar. Or do you just want me?
Yeah, I just want Kythar. You're okay.
Okay. Kythar is visibly shaking.
Okay.
Seeing the nightmares of his fucking horror story come to life. Fighting it. Thank God for non-gravity spells. That he didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, that
Because
was
he's
a
stupid barbarian.
crazy fucking cool move, truthfully. Yeah, that was sick as fuck. But I can see very disorienting for Kythar, who's used to like having his very heavy form and both feet on the ground and like using that leverage to swing his giant hammer and then be like fucking just like zero G's just like up there with the worm. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah. But once you get the use, if I swing hammer this way, I go that way faster. And so, glad to glad to defeat that one. But knowing the sounds, the trebles coming up, he wants to get the fuck out of there and head to Frostholm as quick as possible. And happy to be there, even though he rather start tracking back into the wilderness to see since he knows his home village is near relatively.
Windale.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Woofendale. Yeah, and so
Yeah, because in the same way
yeah.
where a Tesk knows this is on the other side of the world, like it is on the other side of the world, but you know, so is Woodvendale. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's excited, like he's as excited for Reed, but he can but more so for that fact, he can care less really much for the relic, because he's like this last he hasn't been as close, and he can say fuck it, I want to go this way. But he knows he's part of a party where dragons try to kill him. So.
Yep. That's more than fair. Which leaves us with a
And
single.
Rowan was. Oh, sorry.
I'm about to say, I'm sure we'll get a little bit of Rowan. It is a good reminder though, because I do stream this, that you're playing two characters. So I will make that note here. But our last player at the table with a character. How's Simone doing?
Simone has a sense of urgency. He doesn't even want to go into town. Like, we literally just left a town. Like, we were at, the Iomade place, and now we are in, we're right outside another city. We don't need to go to another town. We've already resupplied. We need to head straight for the fucking, what Reed outlined as like, we see it as a swirling vortex of magic. What Reed outlined as he saw a dragon like, flying around, a specific mountaintop. Like, we need to go there. And as the person who is carrying the majority of our people of the of our party, I may really push for that to happen.
Cool.
So Simone is very object oriented right now. He sees the city and goes, right, and then wants to push towards that objective. There's literally an army like on its way to the College of Arcane Arts. If we don't show up when that shit's there, like,
I'm so excited to put my feet up at a tavern. Oh, gosh.
I'm about to say, yeah, Galfast, talking to Banjo, expecting to show up. Like, that'll be a real surprise if he comes out of the hole on a mountaintop and not in a town somewhere. That'll be
He
fun.
did also say they need like a month or like a couple
Yeah.
weeks at least.
No, yeah,
And
you
we
were
let
yeah,
see
you
how
were
it
told
goes.
you were told it'll take a month or two to like mobilize the army and get them fucking out there. But you were also told that you don't have a ride back either. You know what I mean? And so it is one of those things where like you are extremely far away. Like you are like if you're just gonna straight like walk from here, like yeah, you're gonna have to get this thing and start heading back like quick. Whether that needs to happen today or not. I don't think any of you except maybe Rowan would have, or maybe Simone, I guess, because he's done a lot of like foot travel around. But I don't think you guys would even be able to like guesstimate what that trip would take. Like, there's only a couple party members who'd even have an idea, but Simone is one of them, and it would, and it would take most of that time. But kind of without further ado, weather is cold, but it is the warmest. It's coming up on the warmest part of the year. Like summer has broken, and part of your battle with the ice worm was that it kind of like disrupted this frozen river, which like cracked it and sent some like ice, running down the waterway as it has like begun to thaw. But that being said, Frostholm is the kind of place where you get sunny days with snow on the ground, or you get blizzards. You know what I mean? Like you never get a day where there is not snow on the ground. And so you guys are experiencing, for many of you, the most severe chill that you've ever felt in your life as you are up at altitude, like sailing over just under the cloud line, which are just absolutely every once in a while you guys fly through like an errant cloud that just stings and shreds you guys as like these tiny, frozen particles hit your bare skin in places. And you know what I mean? Like this is not a pleasant flight. But as you guys are in the air, it sounds like Simone is doing the math about, well, we're pretty far away, but if we don't have any assistance getting back, it's going to take us a couple of months just to get back. And that's assuming that we don't end up going down a fucking pit and losing a bunch of time in the great below or some crazy shit like that, right? And so these thoughts are tumbling around in his head. Simone, as you guys are kind of coming up on where would be the kind of like point where if you were going to land at a gate, now would be the time to like slow down or begin declining in altitude. What's your guys' flight pattern right now?
It is heading towards the mountain.
So ascending instead of descending then.
That's correct, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
where are we going, guys?
We're heading towards the mountain, Puto. What do you think?
You mean that one up there? And I'm gonna point to the like swirling vortex up there.
That's right, fool.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why is that?
Well, that's their version of Iomede's Light, and well, I know that my people wouldn't be super thrilled if somebody just sauntered on up to Iomede's Light. And from what I've heard about these people, I don't think they're the kind of people to take too well to any kind of slight.
What are you talking about, fool? We're here for the piece of armor. Honestly, fool. Do
And
you
you know
even
it's-
what piece
We
of
don't know
armor
that
it
it's
is?
there.
Well, there's only one way to find out, then, fool. Right? We're not going to send Puto Ateska's eye over there to go figure it out. That shit
mean-
doesn't even work anyway.
It'd take forever.
I mean, if you want to risk pissing off the town,
What? hold on. How do you know so much about the town, fool? As I continue going towards.
Right.
Because the high priestess kind of gave us a little bit of information about these people.
I don't remember the high priestess though saying, you know, fucking, you know, saying that, oh, that, you know, that big ass puto, there's gonna be a big ass swirling vortex, fool, and that's like their sacred god and shit.
I mean,
yeah, and pointedly, Reed, you know, she didn't point out that they had this like swirling vortex at all. What Reed knows about is that like this mountaintop has significance to them. You know what I mean? Because it's where like one of the four, they have like four gods, four primary gods they worship,
Right.
and one of them has like a temple up here, right? And like that's
Yeah.
what you know about it, right? But you didn't mention that there's any kind of energy, anything at all. Like Reed is also learning that as he's seeing this.
didn't I get that on my knowledge religion check last time?
You may have, but even still, even if you have that knowledge, it's like that's like you putting pieces together. That's not like an explicit thing that you got told. You know what I mean? That's Reed like figuring out like, oh, that this must be their fucking version of that shit, right?
All right, you got it. Let's see. Let's try it.
And I'm gonna.
Yeah, you guys are gaining perception, gaining altitude rather. The quickest flight route takes you over town. Are you just trying to get there as quick as possible?
No, I'm gonna I'm gonna go around. I'm not trying to trigger them.
Cool. Sounds great. What does go around mean? You know what I mean? What's
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it like a wide berth. You know, so I'm gonna go. You know, like I'm gonna go around the town. You know, I'm gonna fly up pretty high, so then I'm not like, you know,
yeah, you're already
like
up way high. Like you're gonna be a
yeah.
very distant dot to them. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm trying to avoid is is them being like the kobolds are here, attack. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Then, as you are, you know what? I'll do it through here. That's more fun. As you are doing that, we're gonna ha ta 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 ta. Yeah, cool. So you guys, Simone kind of banks you guys around this town. And Galfast, I will say this: you can feel like, you know, when the bus takes a turn too fast, kind of thing. Like you can feel your like momentum shifting in the bag as this like wide arc starts being taken. But as you climb, you the town is kind of like underneath you because it's at like the foot of this mountain. But the mountain itself becomes more clear, and there was a like loose cut section on it, which is now clear as day. This icy stair step climb that is like periodically got these like frozen icy effigies of this. Probably looks like a dwarven god of some kind. Very like Nordic style, right? Like big braided beard, iron helms that, embossed with like animal heads and, things of that nature. And like 3/4 of the way up, you see a lone like individual who appears to be like writing something into the kind of like mountainside most of the way up. Otherwise, at the top of the mountain, I described it as like a bowl or like a crater that has this like energy kind of rolling out of it, and that is like slightly offset from where the stairs terminate at the very top, where there's this huge like two-tiered icy structure that like towers on top of the mountaintop so high that you guys are like still approaching it. Like it's on a hilltop, so you're approaching it from kind of one side, and like you can't see what's on the other side because it's just this huge like bisected skyscraper made out of ice, right? That has two more of these huge effigies at the top, and the like roiling ball of energy is not like the Heart of Iomedae. It is not like set into these statues. It seems to be just like I said, slightly offset, even almost like off to the side, like very near the top of all of this. But it almost looks like this temple was built and then this thing was installed, came here, whatever the purpose may be. Like it's not worked into the architecture anywhere, right? But you guys sail over and around the town here, and as you are approaching the mountaintop, are you landing at the top, or do you have any interest in this individual who's up there at the top of this freezing mountain, just like riding into the mountainside?
And sorry, I'm in the bag still, right? Or
You're in the bag still, but I think for role playing purposes, you can poke your head out of the bag periodically. I don't want to like cut you out of all the scenes because you're in the bag. You know what I mean? Like, you got something to say it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna look and be like, "Who is that puto? Can anyone actually see?"
I can do a perception check.
Cool. As you squint through the cloud cover and the snow the snow flurry, and all that, which has gotten worse the closer you've gotten to the top of this mountain. Like, it appears to have kind of like its own weather zone, and the weather continues to get worse as you climb.
I'm so happy I wear these goggles, putos.
I know. And as Reed's fucking squinting, and you can see his like eyelids flinching as like shards of ice and like cold air are like getting in him, as every once in a while like Will will like flap his wings and like a piece of ice cold water will like fly off and a mist will hit him. Reed, you're like squinting down here to look at this. Incredible roll. You are able to identify like distinctly elven features on this guy. He is wearing robes that obviously at one time were incredibly ornate, but have now been like frozen over and are tattered. And he's drawing on the side of this wall here, and as you guys kind of like bank around and get like a wider arc of that wall, you can see that it like it's like a band that stretches all the way around the fucking mountain itself, that's probably 25-30 feet tall, and it's this huge like mural that this guy's just like fucking working on this mountaintop. But you are still at a distance, so he does look like he is armed. I will say that much. Armed, Elvis features, tattered rags. Go ahead.
Is it like a so it's some kind of elf? I don't know what he's wearing, but it's hard to tell now because it's all torn apart. But it looks like he's drawing something or writing something down there. Simone, can you see what that is? I can't read
trust
Elven.
an elf.
Yeah, I know. And here we are.
I'm just gonna be like, he's an elf. Let's land, putos.
I thought you didn't like other elves.
What are you talking about, fool? I like Atesk.
Tesco mutter. Oh, that's not the
You do?
college.
As
I
much
couldn't
as you
tell.
can like that, puto.
So we're not that bad.
You could say that I love him, fool.
David, could I like make out the color of his robes, or were they just covered in too much snow?
They're white. They're white and blue. They are ice and frost colored, right? Like because the physical layer of ice is so thick on them, at least at distance, right?
It's Atesk. It's Atesk from the future. Speaking of time.
I know. God damn it.
I know you guys had guessed the theme right out the gate. No, but there, you guys come and land, and as you kind of like get within that landing space and come down on this, you guys like the mural itself is huge and is like impossible to miss once you start getting close, and it depicts this same like dwarven man that there are effigies all over, but there also is another man and two women that feature like prominently in it, and it's and it, like I said, it expands like the entire length of this mountain, and it's impossible to tell exactly how old it is, but like this is the kind of thing that represents hundreds or thousands of man hours to create something like this. And like as far as you guys can tell, you can't like see it from town. You can't, like, the only place that you can see it from is the sky, or like on this stretch of this kind of like last stretch of the stairs.
Can I do a perception check to see what? Did you? I didn't really hear a super good description of the of the actual mural itself.
Yeah, that's
right?
because I did not give a super good description of the actual mural itself.
So I was wondering if I could do a perception check to see what the mural is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before-
I'll take a
before we
perception.
land?
I'm about to say I'll take a before you land. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
Okay. Yeah, a perception, or yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's only it. So, here we go. Hey.
Love that. Yeah. So Simone, you guys are like getting close to landing, and this mural like is. I don't know that you are necessarily the like art or religion guy of the group, but like murals exist all over the place, right? And they're kind of designed to tell a story in a rudimentary way that like people who can't read can like follow along, right? And so you're like watching this, and you're looking at it, and the mural starts with the like prominent figure, right? The one that's all over the place here. And he, there are different like lightning bolts and storm clouds that kind of like surround him. And then the kind of like next panel shows the the mural itself looks like broken and like cracked in like concentric circles, right? It looks like a target where the bands are all very close together, right? And kind of like at the center of that is the like older of the two women. The like next panel has these two characters like in the same space, and the like now it's like where the lightning is making contact in the storm has these like expansions that come out of them, like that were in the second panel. In the third panel, there is like for the first time, like things are now beginning to like move from the places they've always been to like to like off screen, right? They're just like the panel just kind of like moves the cloud. First it's in the middle, then it's slightly to the left, then it's halfway off the frame, then it's completely out of the frame. And when it is out of the frame, coming into the frame on the other side is the younger of the men, and the panel after that it's like so hard to see that you can't see it, but like the fourth character, like another woman, is like down there somewhere being introduced. But this is like the visual, because each panel that I'm describing is a 15 by 30 foot huge rectangle carved into this fucking mountain. So like as the mountain kind of like bends and hits its turns, like you kind of like lose the mural on the other side, kind of thing.
Okay, so it literally wraps all the way around, and it sounds like some sort of creation story, from what I'm hearing.
You should maybe talk to.
I'm in.
I'm about to say, maybe you should talk to your religion guys about all that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, puto, it's these two old bitches with like in a circle, and they're like expanding shit. Do you see that? And I'm like pointing it around.
I might have heard about this one time at the temple. Maybe I read about it somewhere. Let me see. And I'll do a knowledge religion.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is blind.
That is blind because of knowledge check. Simone, do you feel comfortable enough to land, or are you gonna like stay in the air while Reed is like inspecting this thing?
I'm gonna stay in the air while Reed's inspecting it for right now.
Cool, sounds good. You have gotten close enough that this figure has like turned over his shoulder and like sees you like flying around, you know, near enough to see all this stuff. And he kind of like squints and looks at you, and you see him like looking at you guys while Reed is looking at the mural. But Reed, you know, you have only ever heard these loosely. You may want to get your pen ready if you're trying to keep track of other religions out in the world here.
Gotcha.
But you are able to like correctly identify the three people who are here, like presented in the mural, and then like make an educated guess about who that fourth person is. Let me see here. I've got different.
Is it the god of storm, the lightning,
Yeah.
water, ice, and snow?
But I'm going to give you some names so that the Halgrim is your dwarven guy, is your primary dude who is all over this fucking walkway. Velthara is his wife, who represents thunder. Eric, Aerik, is the son of the wind. And then you can't see her, but you know that there's like also a daughter involved. And on a absolutely killer religion roll, I will give you her name and kind of like scope as well. She is Ylvina, Ylvina, Ylvina. And she is the like daughter of snow. She represents like snow and ice. So they basically boil it down to Stormfather Lightning, Mama Thunder, and then kids ice and wind is kind of like loosely layman's how this would break down, right? You're able to identify all these people, you know, paired with the other information you have about this place, like they're like deeply rooted in their traditions. I will say this though, with your religion role, you know that they are all like intended to, like they're traditionally represented as like humanoids. Like in the statues, they're all like they're just like straight dwarves and straight, you know, humans and elves and whatever. But you look and you can see here that that like what this guy is doing is he is like covering the hands and feet with like talons instead, and he's like basically doing the equivalent of like graffiti on this huge monument, and he's like turned around looking at you guys, and you guys can probably not hear what he's saying over the wind rushing in your ears as you're like flying through, but you know it's easy to see that like his lips are moving as he's just like sitting there kind of like staring at you guys, lips moving. Reed, you're like looking at this, you're picking out the gods and their kind of like domains and stuff.
Before I tell them what it is, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, he's saying something down there. Is he chanting something?"
Aren't
Looks
you
like
the... Let's just get down there, fool. And I'm gonna go to land.
And then while I'm down, that's Halgrim, Bothera, and Arik, Elvina! And I'm just gonna, you know, relay that information to them. While
So,
wind's whipping past at a bajillion miles.
Yeah, so Reed's screaming a religion lesson at you guys, which I think is just funny.
Yeah.
And
the ice and the who's the put the wind again?
Lightning, thunder, wind, snow.
The
father, the wife, the daughter, the son. The son, the daughter. Respectively.
Think I forgot about the Holy Ghost.
No ghosts.
Aw.
At least I don't know.
And you guys like, you know, Will comes to a landing. Galfast, you feel that like familiar like rocking in the sack of the of like the world around you finally like finding level footing. I'm going to DM you through the normal shenanigans of the hole and just say that that Galfast is able to be retrieved successfully from it, kind of as you guys
I was gonna do
land.
something cool.
No, go
I was
for it.
gonna
Yeah,
try
please,
something, if
please,
you don't
yeah,
mind.
go for it.
Okay,
No.
yeah. So like, so we'd land like how they would do it is we would like glide down, and then like as like Wilb is like coming to a stop, like he stops and like flaps his wings forward, and when he does that, he like releases Kythar and Reed, so that they just like he's stopping, but he lets them go, and they're like walking already.
Oh, okay. That's
And
fucking
then
cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
and then Simone like slides off like heedlessly, and then just goes to open the portal, and I'm gonna roll right now to see what I open.
I was about to say, give me an acrobatics is I think what I'd like from Simone. Yeah.
Come on. Hey.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So the two in the claws get released, no problem. Simone flips off, flips out of here and tosses the hole, and is able to do so well enough that I will. I'm gonna have you roll that d6. I'm gonna have you roll that d6.
Yeah.
Galfast and Banjo tumble out, playing cards.
Oh,
Yeah.
hopefully
Playing
that's a
cards,
good
that's
one.
I'm about to say 6 is what you were going for. Here's what I will say, because what I was gonna give you was like advantage, but that doesn't really work or translate. So I was gonna give you any adjacent number. So as you
Okay.
throw
I'll
this,
take 6.
as you throw this thing, you have access to 4, 5, and 6, right? As your choices. So yeah, 6. You throw it, and you've seen how random this is, and you just try to channel some kind of magical intention into it, and you're it's still random, right? But you can kind of pull at those magical threads and try to manipulate it into the result you want. Yeah, and Galfast, how do we find you? Are you ready to go, or do you tumble out cards in lap?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I have cards in my lap, and there's drinks and stuff all spilled out. I'm upside down. It's my hair.
The drinks immediately freeze as they go into the snow. Immediately, puddle out, freeze over. You have liquor pops essentially now, as these things are out here. You guys look up, and there is this very clearly, for some of you maybe think he's just a particularly gaunt human, and then he turns his head, and that very distinguishable pointed elvish ear becomes prominent, and then as he takes a few steps towards you, it's also obvious, because whereas all of you are sinking into the snow up to your knee, up to mid-thigh, up to your waist, for those of you who are shorter, he is walking, crunching only down to his ankles, which is, elves are incredibly light, and so that becomes very
Stupid
apparent,
elves.
as you guys land. That even the half elves of the group, are only buried up to mid shin, right? They're still keeping their knees well above the snow. Where unfortunately, Galfast comes tumbling out, and you see all of his stuff land on the snow, and he's just buried in quicksand. You know what I mean? Just up to his waist through this fucking soft snowdrift, and
Doesn't know how to ski.
but this figure, you can see he's got something in his hand. It is crystalline in nature. It does emanate, for those of you who have detect magic, it does emanate a magical essence, but not in the way a wand or a staff does, and not in the way that these crazy items do. In the way that items that are designed to be floating lanterns, utilitarian items glow, right? So you get this low ping. This thing is designed for something specific, right? And so he's got
A personal light.
right? So yeah, some kind of right. The exact nature of the tool is not clear, but it's not like he's holding a magic grenade, right? You know what I mean? And so, or your wand of haste, which give off these hey, there's multiple spells concentrated in this bitch right now, right? There's none of that. And he looks at you. He is he's like looking at you guys, but you all quickly realize his attention is very like solidly focused on Wilb, and you just hear him just like release this like guttural cry that's just like and it's like there's just like it's something between like incredible excitement and like gut-wrenching pain. Like it's hard to place where it lands on the emotional spectrum other than lots of emotion packed behind this like this noise. And afterward you see him like walk up and just kind of like look at you, and he's like, yeah, you're here.
I'll be like, that's right, fool. We are here. What have you been doing to this mural, puto? And I'm gonna roll.
It was. He's gonna tell you. It was wrong. It was wrong. Nobody believed me. Nobody believed me that it was wrong. But it was wrong, and I knew it was wrong. And now you're here.
Sorry, no one believed me. It was what?
It was wrong. It was wrong. Oh. Nobody believed me. It was wrong. But you're here.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm gonna look at everyone else and be like, "That's right, fool."
I'm gonna like point to the talons that he's drawing on the mural, so that like Simone can see what I'm talking about here.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, we are in search, puto, of a piece of armor, fool.
An ancient piece of armor.
He says, there's no armor on the mountaintop. Well, the forges, they're all down in the city with the unbelievers, with the skeptics. They worship the gods, but they worship the wrong gods. They don't know like I know.
So Kaithar is gonna just go off script, and he's gonna rush him and grab him by his like collar, and just like, what do you remember of the village of Woodendale?
Roll me intimidation check. You guys see Kaithar just blitz this fucking insane elf, and like pick him up and start just like fucking shaking him and being like, "What do you know of Woodendale?" And I would like to see what the result of your roll is. For that, he's like, Woodendale? No, Frostholm! He's like, Woodendale, no one cares about Woodendale. He's like, there's never been any prophecy there. They don't have gods. They don't worship. They don't know like I know. And he's like lifted up at you. He's kind of like talking at you. He's like moved past Kaithar and is not like moved past physically, but his like attention is like moved from Kaithar back to Wilb, and he like is like looking at Wilb, and he sees Reed like pointing at the talons on the mural and like making the comment to Simone, and he's like, yes, and he like turns and looks at Wilb, and he points, and he's like, wait, he's like, those aren't right, because Wilb has cat feet, right?
Yeah, he has cat. He's a dragon with cat-like features.
Right. So he like looks. He's like, but that's not. He's like pointing at like the scaled portions of the face and the like bat-esque wings. And he's like, yes, but no. And he's like pointing at the feet and like the feline features. And he's like, and the tail's all wrong. Gesturing towards Will.
Show your talents.
Will walks up to him, and lords over him, and he goes, "Who do you say looks wrong here, sweetie? You're the one in tattered robes. I look magnificent."
He's like, of course you look magnificent. You're just not the way I've seen in my dreams. And he's like saying all this in Kaithar's grips. Like, Kaithar, you still have this guy. You know what I mean? And so you're like holding him. Wilb is like fucking, like, who are you calling fucking wrong? And this dude is either too stupid to realize he's potentially in danger or like doesn't care. But it's like not registered, right?
Kaithar's gonna look at Wilb as like,
Wilb's gonna say, shake him a little bit more, sweetie.
Kaithar's gonna violently shake him. Violently.
Yeah.
While he's shaking
get some
him,
water.
Wilb's gonna tell Kaithar, he's like, "I've always appreciated your shaking ability, sweetie. You've always been the
Ew.
best shaker."
And as you just like, I'm not gonna take an athletics check because I just think it's funny. And there's no like, you have this guy. He's a scrawny elf. He's very easy to shake and rattle, right? Like no problem, shake and rattle this guy. And just like in between these like broken like head bobs as his neck's being just like thrown back and forth. He's just like giving these like, no, you don't understand. I've been waiting for my whole life, 3,000 years. You know what I mean? Just like fucking, as you're just like shaking.
Wait. How old are you?
And he's just like, can't hear you. He's just being shaken, wind in his ears. He's not he's just continuing to yell. He can't hear you over his own yelling.
I may be able to help in this situation. I have some services I could offer. I'm going to say, give him one of these. And I'm going to hand you it looks like a little sausage.
To whom?
Give this to him.
I'm still shaking the shit out of him, so
I know. Kaithar's like turning.
I'm gonna take it.
What do you want me to give him?
Reed's gonna take it, and then he's gonna, like, while the guy is just like mouthing and rambling, he's just gonna shove it in his mouth when he like he has to hold it like that.
Give me a reflex save. You got to clear 24. What's your reflex?
I gotta beat some teeth here.
It's like you're trying to fix a vegan. Here's a sausage.
Yeah, no problem. You force feed this guy the sausage. Galfast, what's in the sausage, my guy?
That's a good question. It's Sorcerer's Smile. I don't know if we've ever talked about what it actually is. I always kind of assumed it was like some sort of like LSD, like downer of some sort. Like it just puts people into like a stupor. Like I just imagine people doing like the the fentanyl stoop, but like more like an LSD.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
it's yeah. I mean that's not far off from the truth. They call it Sorcerer's Smile because it takes like magic to manufacture, but also because even non-magical folk feel like a sorcerer when they're on it, right? And so, like in that, like you're saying, in that like fentanyl daze, right? It also is a powerful hallucinogenic where like from your perspective, yeah, people just go, you know what I mean, and are just fucking like kind of out of it. But from their perspective, they are spinning this like wild tale where like they are these like powerful wizards, and it's like when people daydream about being a hero in a social situation or whatever, but like fucking tenfold, right? And like that's kind of what happens here. But it does matter the dosage, right? Like a heavy dose will straight up put somebody in a coma. A lighter dose will keep somebody like relatively lucid but euphoric, right? So how potent do you think the sausage was?
Yeah, I'm not trying to kill him or anything like that. I am just trying to calm him down.
Yeah.
So, like,
Kaithar's trying to kill him.
I know, shaking baby syndrome over there.
No one's told me to stop at this point. Will just fucking.
Kaithar, stop.
Oh.
S, stop. Starts with the,
I need to know about Woodville.
Stop.
And he just keeps on.
We'll find out about Woodville
Tell me.
later.
Tell me.
Maybe we'll even see it on our way back. And I'm gonna look at the rest of the party and shake my head no.
I need to know. I need to know. Welcome to my village.
Kaithar, your hands are getting extremely cold from being out and just like rattling this guy. I would like a reflex check from Kaithar as well now, please. Kaithar, you're like rattling this guy, and the ice on his like lapel where you got him and started to shake, like your hands, the warmth from them have transferred into that, and it's like melted, and they're like super slick, and you're just like mid shake, and this guy just pops loose out of your grip, and like does a somersault, lands face down in the snow. While he's airborne, he's just whee, and then lands face down in the snow and begins laughing hysterically. And it's just muffled by the snow, but it's just laying there face down in the snow, laughing hysterically.
Kaithar is about to like reel back to punch him in the back of the head. Anybody can stop him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm gonna
stop
stop
him.
him.
Okay.
I was about to say, your god's gonna interject before too long if you guys keep bullying this poor guy there, Reed. But
Kaithar is on a single mission now, knowing
You know
he's
what,
back home.
I will
and he
say,
just met a 2,000-year-old elf
that's true
from the area.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, who knows without knowing? So,
Reed, you feel Iomede's displeasure at your standing aside and just allowing this guy to be fucking tormented. She's very disappointed in you.
he's just shaking. Nothing's wrong with that. He's just shaking.
Finally,
What did you
she's
What did you
starting
put?
to-
What did you put in that sausage?
I think he's busy. Something's going on.
I'm gonna use lay on hands to
lay, on,
Yes,
remove.
lay on hands is hit points. Is that correct? Or does it have
I
another
think it
feature?
also removes.
If you can find me the part of the text block that says that it does that, I will judge it. My understanding is that it does hit points.
No,
used
lay on
to-
hands has the ability to remove disease or poison as well, depending on what it's considered.
Then what I
But
want...
he has to have a feat for that. He has to have a
I-
feat saying that's what lay on hand does. So, and I don't think he did. I think he removed that feat to get something else. But
That's fine.
I
You
could-
keep digging. We'll have it. You can touch him whenever, right? So keep digging, looking at that.
Hold on.
This
Hold
guy's
on.
this guy's laughing. Kaithar, you have asked. Reed, excuse me. You have asked Galfast what was in that sausage.
Yeah.
Oh, torture a smile. That'll calm him down.
Not like a
different.
truth serum or something. Just
No.
not drugs.
What do you mean? What do you mean
Look
not
what
drugs?
look what you've done to the poor guy, and I'm gonna like emphatically point at him.
Just fucking having a great time. He's having a great time.
We're nowhere closer now.
Rowan, looking at this and knowing definitely drug use, understands that this is kind of like it's definitely a mild dose, as Galfast is saying. It's like, no, this guy's just a moron. This guy's just crazy.
so Simone's gonna walk
I know.
away
I'm
from
trying
the
to how
guy.
the fuck I've got.
Yeah. So Simone, you guys are like, and you don't have to walk that far away. You guys can form like a small circle because he's having a one man party over there right now. So
I'm gonna walk over to Rowan because I really want Soda to roleplay Rowan right now.
Okay, love that.
And I'm gonna be like, hey fool, like you're a druid and shit, like looking around, can you find where this guy was like staying? Because this puto like has to sleep somewhere, right?
Let me see if there's any tracks. And I'm gonna use survival.
That's the roll.
Get it.
Make a survival roll on Rowan's behalf. Make sure you do it from his character sheet.
Yeah. I got you.
Cool. Yeah.
I think I'm clicking on the same. Yep.
I'm about to say I don't know what the mechanics
same
are
roll
from
on
the.
survival, so that's cool. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Because I'm always
Right,
applying
staff
damage to the wrong
gives him-
thing, so it's like I don't.
Yeah,
fucking
you're
know.
good. Ugh, I'm just rolling shit tonight.
Yeah, Rowan isn't able to find a location. He's able to find a general direction, and the tracks lead down the stairs. But he loses them on the ice.
Yeah. Rowan's gonna. I don't see anything up here. You would be staying down. I think he's in that direction, looking at the steps. So probably down the steps is where he's staying.
And so I'm gonna start walking that way.
I'm gonna pick up the guy.
You-
Come on, buddy. We'll get you in bed.
You pick up the guy, and there's like a perfect imprint of his face in the soft snow. and where his mouth was is a big blue like D shape. You know what I mean? Like, and you pick him up, and he's got a mouthful of snow, face full of snow, but the snow in like the goatee area is like blue, and as it melts and starts like running down his chin, you can see like light blue streaks start to like cut through the rest of the ice that's there on him. And as you like pick him up, he like looks up and like you like pick him up, and he's kind of like pointed towards the mural, and he's like nah, the storm father, I see you, I'm with you, and he's just like reaching out towards the like effigy of the like just towards the monument with like graspy hands, just like, I see you, I'm with you, it's final, the time has finally come. As you're just like carrying him, fucking.
Can I do something when he does that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do two things here. I'm gonna cast Figment,
Okay.
and I'm gonna roll a Deception.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do a Figment of like an approximation of what the mural looks like, of what he's kind of pointing at, right?
Right.
As like the Stormfather, and then I'm gonna be like, I am the Stormfather. Puto, tell them, the strangers who just arrived on the dragon, everything you know.
Roll that deception check with advantage because this guy is out of his fucking mind.
You're gonna give this guy a heart attack. Have you ever tripped so much you thought you were gonna die?
Reed is just shaking his head right now.
I know he's gonna tell a story. He's like, "Have you ever? Have you ever?"
Yeah, he's gonna do it kid style, like, and then I, and just like can't get the fucking sentence out.
Exactly.
But the fact of the matter is, you guys see like a like big and glowing but relatively like generic, because like there's not a lot of facial features like carved in a two-dimensional ice mural or like in this incredibly weather-worn statue, right? So what you end up with is a dwarf that looks kind of like Galfast, but is like glowing and has a deep voice, and you know, like the armor matches, you know, looks close enough, and this like crazy dude is just like, yes, Stormfather, of course, and he starts talking to you guys about like, you know, he's like, I have to start at the beginning. He's like, of course, the beginning. It's the natural place to start. And
Can I like? I'm gonna like point down to like, maybe we can get this guy in bed while he's telling us this story then. Or do we want to freeze on the mountaintop?
I thought you guys were moving him. I was under the impression you guys were moving him down the stairs.
Yeah, we're going down. We're going down the stairs. Yeah.
Okay.
We're already on the way there, Reed.
But I will say this: that you guys like lose his tracks on these stairs, so you guys won't know when you get there unless somebody's looking for it, right? So who's on guy duty and who's on looking duty, right?
Rowan's on guy duty since he saw the first steps. He's continuing on and trying to find the find the steps again. Footsteps, and so he's the one leading that and trying his damnedest to. He spent a little bit of time in snow, not much, but he's trying his damnedest to find the trail again.
Love that. And it sounds like Simone and Reed are working pretty closely with the elf.
Yeah. So I'm walking alongside him, and I'm like, by the way, by the way,
keeping the conversation going.
yeah. You know, please wait until we are back in the comfort of the warm hearth, Puto. Can you also make sure to give these mortals all of your worldly possessions, especially your gold? If you have any gold,
No,
give them to the mortals.
I swear to God, I will blind all of you.
For they have dragons and require them. Do not listen to the heretic who worships Iomade.
Kythar is not laughing out loud like I am right now, but he's definitely snickering from behind.
So, Reed, I want you to think about how you're reacting to this. But before that, we're going to cut to a Tesk and Galfast. What are you guys doing while all this stuff, while we're marching down the stairs and hanging out?
Teska's just gonna lean over to Galfast and be like, I kind of had I didn't really think it was right to drug the other elf, but turns out maybe that is the solution.
It's always worked out really well. I don't know what the big deal
We
is.
don't
And now
need-
I have a customer.
We don't need his worldly possessions, though.
You know,
No,
in
you're right.
college,
I need
Tara.
payment. That it's not cheap. I just what I gave him. I just
No.
I need to be made whole.
I think
I'm
Galfast is
gonna
so
cover his
OCD.
ears now. He's giving us information, assholes!
Oh yeah, not first.
Yeah, and as we found out, fool, that coinage can tell us information, which is what we need.
Sir, we just want to know your story, that's all.
And he says, yes, the tale of my, I've waited for so long. No one will listen to my tale. But now the gods, they have arrived, and they're here to redeem me. And he's just like, you guys have like got him around the waist, and he's just full on like girl in a romance novel, just like fucking leaning back, arms spread, just like, and the gods have come, and would completely just fall backward, ass over tea kettle, if he was not being like very solidly gripped over somebody's shoulder, type situation. Just with this like ear to ear, like unnaturally wide stretched smile, and at this point, the much of the ice has kind of like melted out of his mouth. And you can see that his like gums and teeth and lips have all started to turn a like pretty frostbite is a very like deep violet color, right? Whereas this is almost like a sky blue or like an electric blue, right? Like very vibrant in the like mouth and kind of like teeth area, and you guys see like bits of sausage like stuck between his teeth as well, which have these like blue flecks in them.
Does he?
I was gonna look. Ooh, there's more, and he starts picking at them.
Yeah. Does he have any like? Does the water coagulate at all with the blue on it, or is it's like just running water?
No, it was ice initially, right? Like it was. It looked like
But when it melted, it was. Blue, right?
The real world equivalent would be if he ate a blue snow cone, is kind of the effect that is happening, right? The snow cone, the ice of the snow cone itself has melted, but behind that, his physical lips, teeth, and gums and tongue are blue,
I see.
and
Okay,
the like saliva he's generating is blue. You know what I mean?
Got it. Okay.
If he was suffering from the real world of gingivitis.
Gingivitis. As you guys travel down here, Rowan sees like a small like alcove with like an obvious kind of like snow trail cut from somebody who has like come and go like numerous times. There's also more if the mountainside is a mural. These are almost more like doodles, right? That look like I said, almost like graffiti-esque, right? Completely like adorned all around the mouth of the cave. Like if this were the cave itself, there'd be like drawings here, drawings here, drawings here, drawings all along like this ice as you're, and as you like come down the stairs, it's like very difficult to miss this, but especially with somebody, things are very washed out. You can't see super far out. Like you can see loose light points from the town below, but like that inclement weather that exists up here, limits that visibility. But you guys come down to this like kind of like cave face that has a bunch of these doodles in it. And as you kind of like get him close, he like reaches out and like runs his hand along the like wall, and he's like, the prophecy. As you guys like walk into this space, Simone is immediately disappointed because he can see all of this guy's earthly possessions at a glance, right? There is a chair made out of ice and a table made out of a rock, and he sleeps on the floor with a like equally tattered fucking bedroll. Like, you know what I mean? There's like
Is the bedroll covered on frost? Like, is it ice, frost? Like, it's
yeah,
like
it's all
frozen?
very frozen and like cold. The only thing that could possibly have any value is there's like a bucket by the door that has a bunch of these like what looked like crystals before, but now that you're like inside looking at them, it's obvious that they are enchanted icicles is what they are. And it's obvious that like this is what he's like doodling with, right? Like he just has a bucket of spray paint in the form of enchanted icicles, and otherwise, and the inside even more doodles, right? Just like gets even more elaborate, top to bottom, floor to ceiling, just more fucking drawings. And the figures get progressively like more bestial as like outside it's not just the feet and the hands, but the heads have these like long snouts and like big teeth, and then you get inside and the figures are still humanoid, but now they have wings, right? And the mural gets more and more fan fiction as you kind of like make your way into the cave that is obviously this guy's like domicile. And without waiting for a prompt, he like runs over to the like, you know, spot above the table. He's like, okay, so I started here. He's like, and this is and you guys can see it's like a very like loose map of the like entire world, but the continents are wrong, and they like physically are like different shapes, and like there are areas that you know of land that are ocean, and these like huge ice caps are have like little like trees and mountains and things like drawn on them. And he's like when the world was new, and Valmina had bestowed her magic upon the first students of the realm, and like the next tile is just like straight up a bunch of dragons, and then underneath those dragons are a bunch of like elves. He was like, the elves and the dragons were the first to learn magic, and like as he's going through here, this like gives you guys the modern day equivalent of somebody talking about like cavemen. You've asked him to like, hey, tell me everything you know about shit that we care about in like the last 2 or 3 lifetimes, and he's like, okay, and he's like started with the dawn of time, right? And so this is where he goes through, but he like weaves this whole fucking tale, and it will take him a bunch of time to like get through this. So I will like bullet point it for you guys. But from like a character standpoint, would all of your characters just like sit around for 3 hours while this guy gives you a TED talk on the start of the world and everything he knows about like, you know, dragons and the whatever, or do your characters have shorter attention spans than that?
No, Kythar would be annoyed and go up to him again and shake him violently about Woodvindale.
I
Before you
am
do
going
that-
to. Yeah.
Say before you do that, be like, Kythar, come here. And then I'm going to pour another little cap of liquor and hand it over to him.
As you upturn the bottle, no liquor comes out. It is frozen solid.
I'm like, what the fuck? It's alcohol, fool. It's not supposed to freeze.
That's actually a good point.
If this alcohol is frozen, we should have been dead a long time ago, fool.
To be honest, if you break it open, I could lick it like a lollipop.
Honestly, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like a rock, because it's like an elongated bottle. You know, it's like it's a bottle with like a long neck, but it's like a vodka bottle or whatever. And so if you don't remember, this is like the from hold on, let me pull up the map really quick so I can get this right.
Well, while you're doing that, Kythar is just gonna get a fork, a non-lethal fork, and just waiting for you to break the bottle open so you can poke it in and use it as a stem, and he's just gonna
Woodhurst. So if you remember in Woodhurst when we went to that bar, I bought the one where every time Kythar took a shot.
Oh yeah.
he had to do a Constitution check.
Oh shit!
So-
I forgot that was this
Yeah.
alcohol. Yeah.
That's correct.
Cool.
Which is why I've been
Look,
giving him
triple X,
thumbtack.
triple X, triple X.
That's what got Kythar through the Great Below, and so he didn't go through fucking withdrawal. I was giving him
So
taps of that when he was
detox.
a good boy.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Now I'm getting a whole
But now
lollipop.
Yeah.
you've got the whole access to the
Of
whole
this.
thing. So we'll
Yeah.
start with the con save.
As he rolls that though, I'm just doing that because I know we're gonna be here for a while, and I have a feeling that this guy, because if he's going through like the whole history of fucking dragons, that there might be a niblet of something in there that says, "Oh yeah, by the way, dragons, if you touch them on their toe here, they instantly die." You know what I mean? Like, so that's what Simone is hoping for, is that there's something, some
Alright.
sort of like information, and I know that if I give Kythar this, he will sit in a corner and smile with his tongue out. So, you know what I mean?
Until he either dies or passes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes and yes. Let's go. All right. DM, what do you want me to roll?
It's a Constitution. Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Like-
Well, no, it would be.
Fort?
I
Is
mean,
that what it is?
Fortitude. Fortitude.
yeah,
That'd be
or
fortitude.
fortitude. Yeah, it could be fortitude.
All right. Okay. Fortitude. Basic. Okay.
And while that's doing that, I just want to make sure that the rest of the party, like, I'm gonna kind of explain that. So I'm gonna walk away from my illusion and keep it there and act like it's listening. So it's
Okay,
gonna be
here-
like, oh, okay.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. As a player, I'm gonna burn a hero point, and I'm gonna roll higher of.
You know what, man? You can do that. That's hero points are your call to use whenever you like. And as a reminder,
I've been rolling shitty. I've been rolling like Aaron tonight. So
and as a reminder, you guys gotta either offer something up or pull something out of your fellow players to earn your hero points for the session. So you won't be getting a
I've been
teamwork.
trying to. I've been shaking this motherfucker to get more fucking information.
Well, you
about
can
Woodendale.
just share a story about Woodvendale yourself too. You know, you don't need to get it from him, right? Like
I was a traumatized child. Fuck you. All right.
yeah, so go ahead and roll your
I
con
did.
save. But I do want to know too, as Simone is kind of like going over his plan with the rest of you guys, definitely enough to stay conscious for your first save. As you start tearing into this popsicle, what? So Simone like goes through this his plan with you guys. How are you all reacting? Are we on board?
Yeah, and I want to try and do something. This is the first time that Reed's ever tried it. But I want to see if I can like make a connection with Iomade to get that same sort of true false kind of like indication when I'm listening to the story, like the clerics did at the the High Council.
That's
She's
very,
pissed off at you, though.
that's very interesting. That's very interesting. I need a diplomacy check first at disadvantage because you have just annoyed your god.
But you bully you bully him, and then you fucking put him on
I
a
did
lie
not
detector.
bully him.
You sat
You
around
stood
while you
idly
got
by.
bullied.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you put
and you stuffed
I'm
the
gonna-
sausage.
can I-
Yeah.
Can I burn a hero point to roll with just a regular roll then?
That would be how that works. Yes.
Okay.
I gotta do dice math, but yeah, that's right.
There you
Yeah, man. You, if you'll pardon the pun, feel the cold shoulder of Iomade. As you are asking her for a favor, she does not feel inclined to respond. Galfast, Atesk. Simone has said, like, okay, we're gonna see what valuable info we can get out of this guy who has been talking for a half an hour and is showing no signs of stopping. Where are we at, guys? How are we responding to our friend Simone being like, we just got to hear this guy out?
I'm gonna look at a task and I'm gonna pull out my cards. Fancy a game?
I mean, I'm kind of bored. So yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. What's your wager?
I'll pull out one of the. Let's see. One of the sigil ring,
Well, I put a
I got in the
carved
Underdark.
little.
Ooh.
I put a carved
Ooh.
little knickknack that I got in that town that was overgrown.
A spoon.
A tooth.
I know. It's like
a,
fork
a,
tooth.
go- a gold tooth with the root still attached.
It's mine.
Ugh.
He's like, if you crack it open, there's gold.
See? You want another?
It just grows right
Uh.
back like a shark.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that for you guys. So you guys are card playing and like and betting and wagering and just generally killing time, if that's correct. Reed, you listen in and you're trying to determine truth and like feel the like distinct absence of Iomade, but you're no longer in the Great Below. You know this is now like a conscious and conceited, ignoring. Simone, your effigy is just like, yes, of course. Tell me more. You know what I mean? Like over on this
And
side.
he makes a joke.
But there's like
So,
there's like a
some, like-
solid like 3 or 4 seconds before he starts laughing at the end of the joke. You know what I mean? It's like I'll finish a joke and it'll just be like, oh, you know, it's just like the timing's wrong. He's not noticing.
It's like in a newscast, and they cut to the person in the field, and they wait like a few seconds before.
and they nod. They're nodding the whole time. Yeah.
David, is there like a fireplace or something in here?
There is a small hearth, which is currently burning.
So for like repentance, I think I'm going to like take some
Oh.
of my trail rations. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You take some of your trail rations.
And then like make some broth out of this, and like make a stew for him, and then for everybody basically at this point.
Yeah, I will say that that the fire is
Some warm-
is probably too low to make a stew from. But there are some like logs, which are stacked neatly nearby. And as you throw one of these logs onto the fire, Kythar, everyone's nostrils fill with almost this like spicy clove scent that's smoky, but the way barbecue is smoky, not traditionally the way that like wood smoke is smoky. It's almost this like kind of like sweet hickory with this like peppered clove on the back end of it, and you guys can all feel it kind of like in the back of your sinuses, and just like inhaling seems to like fill you all with like a warmth. Kythar probably under normal circumstances would not have noticed it because he's already feeling quite warm from his liquor pop.
He's like sweating.
But to Kythar, this is probably for the first time in a year, maybe more, that he has smelt heartwood, which is like Woodvendale is named for the magical groves of wood which grow there that have these pretty insane properties. Like this is, it's hard to say if it came from Woodvendale, right? But as far as you know, Kythar, this only grows in one place, and you go from the kind of like terror of being face to face with the nightmare of your childhood to the equivalent of like that rush of nostalgia of like, this is not only what home smelled like, this is what everyone's home smelled like in Woodvendale before before it was gone, and was in fact the last indicator that you had, because as you turned your back and left Woodvendale all those years ago, which was burned to the ground, this like scent of this like burning heartwood is like embedded and ingrained in your memory there. So as Reed is like throwing these logs on, you get this hit of nostalgia smell of home. Meanwhile, the elf on the side has like barely gotten past the like start of the world and the like god being that the world is named after. He's now talking about like, and then Valmina was no longer the only god. And there were new creations, and he like goes and like shows this like little figure that's obviously like dwarves, and for the first time there's like dragons and elves. There are now like dwarves that are as part of this mural, and he's like, and then it was not just elves but dwarves too, and before long, and he like moves along, he's like, man arrived, and he's like going through all this like ancient history. Go ahead.
All right, so for Kythar, the smell of the ancient wood from his like homeland is like, as you said, is like something that brings him back. But a little bit of backstory: when they burned the woods, when he smells the smoke, it's when they're in the hut, and when they're building the smoke inside the hut, he remembers being in the war council with his father and with the other warriors, getting ready for battle. And so he's like back in the fucking edge of the tent and just smelling the smoke, and they're riling themselves up, they're praying to their gods, they're basically like like a war chant going on, getting themselves riled up because they know they're about to be attacked because the scouts have said it. And so that's also like another triggered memory for Kythar, is that is that a very triggering response, and that he like that's kind of triggering to Kythar right now, is that he's like remembering that memory, but also he's starting to feel that same emotion of like ready going to war, like because he's also like starting to get inebriated, but also very getting tense and very now smelling that is getting now more aggressive.
And the sorcerer's smile that he picked out of his teeth.
I'm about to say, here's what I'll say about that, guys, is that Kythar is showing all the signs of like going into a rage. You know what I mean? Like everything he does before he flies into a rage, like you guys are watching his body language like shift into that space. Kythar, are you 1,000-yard staring, or are you like visibly, or are you almost like, because you do have a little bit of this sorcerer's smile, you're a little bit inebriated, the line between memory and reality has started to soften for Kythar. So is he acting out the memory of being in the tent?
Kythar is definitely crossfaded.
So do they hear your war chant come out of your mouth while you're doing this?
So part of that, he's also like he's continuing licking it, but he's also chanting at the same time, just like an idiot kid, like licking the lollipop and like humming to himself. Kythar is starting to become that. But
what does your war chant sound like?
All right, anybody watch Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not intimidated.
Kythar, that counts as sharing a personal story. Take a hero point, please. With that being said, you've got your history lecture on one side, a chanting Kythar on the other, and all the rest of you are in the middle. Where are we at? What are we doing?
Does Kythar need to make a con?
I guess you're making soup. Is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Kythar's just made his Constitution save. He did say he's continuing to lick, so he will need to make another one shortly. But I got to spread those beats out over the course of this interaction here.
What's Rowan doing?
Soda just got up. And if we're all just listening and hanging out, like, that's cool. That's fine. There's no rule that says we need to, like, quietly listen to this guy. He's probably not even going to notice Kythar chanting. You guys all will for sure. And it's definitely, like, fucking distracting as this guy's talking. But as his, like, lessons go on, he talks about new gods coming to the scene. He ties some races of people to new gods, like, entering the realm, like which he keeps referring to as, like, Valmina's realm. And the way he refers to Valmina is almost like the late great, right? Like a god that's been slain or like no longer is in existence. And he talks about like lessons, and he keeps referring to people as like students of magic. But he's talking about it kind of also in this like origin story way, right? And he outlines, an hour of war and conflict before he really gets to the dragons. Like he mentions them up front about like they were the first students of magic, and then he talks about all the other, races. He talks about elves and humans and gnomes and dwarves and like their respective origin stories, and where they acquired magic from, their specific skills, before he circles back to the dragons and tells a story that you guys have all heard in bits and pieces and pulled out of parchment, and it's all like rattled off through the kind of like lens of this insane, drug induced stupor. But he, is talking about how, like the dragons were the like dominating force in the world, and like Valmina promised to never teach another creature magic until like the dragons almost destroyed everything, and then she like begrudgingly taught magic to the elves, and the elves like harnessed their own, like continued to develop it, and he describes like gnomes as having come from elves, and there being like a very close like cousinly relationship between them. He talks about the, like anytime that you bump him and you're like, yes, but tell us more about the dragons, right? He, talks about them being the like literal actual oldest thing that he's ever heard stories about, and that they, he talks about the great alliances of the world, and the like great uprising, and it like takes a minute, but you guys realize like an hour and a half in, you're like, okay, he's finally gotten to the conflict of the first age, right? Like he's finally talking about the things that we know about, but he's like filling in these gaps, and he's like showing you this map of like where Mount Ember is, where the volcano is that was like circled on his map. That's all like ocean, on his like early map of Valmina, and he describes like a just like incredibly like powerful magical explosion which literally dried up an entire ocean, right? And like the Mount Ember like erupted in its place, and erupting from Mount Ember was like a and he keeps referring to this place as like the bowels, but he talks about these like dragons and dragon-like creatures like emerging from the bowels, and having at this point like teamed up with the only other creatures worthy in their eyes, the only other beings who learned magic directly from the like god of the world, Valmina, and I will say Rowan, and I'm sorry that Chris isn't here, but Rowan probably is able to pick up on a lot of this as like there's magic from other planes. There's the hole that you open up and flames come through it, because that's the plane of fire, the elemental plane where all fire elementals come from and all this stuff. But then there's primal magic, or like local magic, or the like animalistic nature gods that druids worship, right? And
Yeah.
he's like putting all of this together, that like the god of the forest is the same like flavor of magic as exists in like dragons, and is the same, like dragons don't come from, like dragons come from somewhere else, the creature, but the magic that they've learned is the same flavor of magic as he has as a druid, right? Like and
It's
is
earthly, it's
right
worldly bound.
is closest to the source, whereas like Simone and Atesk like learned out of books, and do have elven magic, which is this kind of like also inherent magic. There's these like layers of knowledge and learning behind it that like the dragons don't have. They just like there's a reason why they can like breathe fire from their core, because like fire is one of those things that like exist. Like this plane connects the plane of fire and the plane of ice, the plane of this and that and the other thing. And in doing so, he said, you know, and there's a line that like sticks out as he's like droning on. He's like, and the only ones that could destroy the dragons were themselves. And starts talking about like craftsmen, and you guys like are able to pick out like these names and stuff, and he's describing what you guys have all discovered for yourself, right? That like these dragons came and made this thing, but he describes it as a like collaborative effort, right? Like Cade told you, I made this armor. This guy is saying all rogue dragons came together to make the key to their demise, right? And so you get your first like inconsistency between things that you solidly know that people have told you that you trust, and this crazy guy saying stuff, right?
I'm gonna ask him if he knows that if there's anybody that the dragons worked with in building the armor pieces.
And he says, yes, and he like runs across to the other, like across his cave, back out the front, and starts like pointing at the effigies of like this dwarven god, and he says that the most skilled craftsmen who were able to rend the power of the elements themselves were also like conscripted into this like collective that created these items, and he is talking as if the like four gods that are out here like were involved with like that creation. Like the god of the storms, like he is like rattling off about like how important he was and how like instrumental he was in the creation of these relics, which ultimately like saved the world, right? And he gives a lot of credit to that, to like to these gods, right? To like the ones that are on this stair that he worships, and you know, says that the forges down. He says, you asked about the forges. He like points down the stairs, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, Frostholm is home to one of the greatest forges in all the world. And you know, says that the gods they look after the craftsmen, and the he said, in order to work with the elements, you must live the elements, you must breathe the elements. And he said, takes this big deep breath and like releases this like icy vapor of cloud, and he's kind of like inferring that in order to be a successful like magical elemental craftsman, you have to live in extreme conditions, right? He's just like, there's no other way to do it. That's why the gods are here. That's why, you know, Frostholm is here. You know, that's how they tie into all of this stuff. He tells a bunch of like other random stories about dragons that were lost to time, you know, occasional like battles that happened between them. They've been known to like collect armies, skirmish with each other, take over towns. But all of these are almost like footnotes in between, both prior to and after the first age, and they get less and less frequent as he gets closer and closer to modern day. And you know, as he's kind of like on the note of Frostholm and the forges, he's, you know, he makes a comment. He's like, the ancient rites of Worm Watch. He's like, always scanning the skies, always looking for the return of the dragons. And he
Did you
just
say
like
Warm Watch?
Worm Watch, yeah.
Okay.
And he's describing that as like a local tenet, right? He's describing it as a like tradition or something that the people of Frostholm do, right? And he's got this cave and all this stuff. But as far as like, I will even go so far as say is like, if Simone asked point blank, like, what is the weakness of the dragons? He's kind of always like harps back to only the dragons are the weakness of the dragons, right? And he, you know, he does say that there's only one that's ever defeated the great dragons who was not himself a dragon. And he kind of like squints his eyes and like gets his, like bends down real low and almost like whispers as if he's like being overheard. He's like, and I suspect even he may have had, at the very least, dragon's blood running through his veins. He's like, there's no way a non-dragon could. He's like, and dragons, they have the ability to polymorph. They can change into, they can appear many different ways. He's like, I've always suspected that the legendary warrior was no human at all, but instead, a dragon hiding behind the mask of his own kind. And it's just like,
And what was his name? And what was his name?
It's coming off as like conspiracy theory, right? But he, I do have this guy's name. You guys gotta give me a second. It's one of those things where like you guys have to keep in mind this whole sequence got kicked off because it was like, do you want to go talk? Do you want to go investigate the elf? Right? And it's like it's very reasonable. You guys can go nah and like go somewhere else. And it's like, okay, so I'm not gonna have all these fucking notes ready to go in case it doesn't happen. But you gotta give me a second. I'm in shit that I wrote 4 years ago at the start of my campaign when I was like building the world. So you got to give me a second here. He does. Here's what I will say. He does give you a name, and I will give it to you when it becomes pertinent. You know what I mean? Like I'll find it. I'm not going to waste everybody's time with it. He does give you a name. He also though knows the names of a few other dragons. And
That we know?
I think that. Yeah, I think that I want just like. Is there any dragon that you guys would have asked about specifically? I guess is what I will say.
Onyxia and Alzarath.
I also had a question when you get those.
Okay, sounds great. Alzarath, he refers to as Lord of the Skies. He kind of gives it a little bit of like the Voldemort treatment. Like you're like, what can you tell us about Alzarath? He's like,
Does he think the dragon's blood guy is the one who he thinks has dragon's blood running through his veins? Does he think he's the one who defeated him?
Yes, that's his implication. Is that
Okay,
like
okay, got it.
he confirms your vision, but adds a conspiracy theory layer of like I think he was a dragon himself. Is like his kind of like hunch, right? And he does know. Probably not his like legal name, but probably knows his like legend name. You know what I mean? Like Alzarath is Alzarath, Lord of the Skies. Like he probably knows this guy as Damien, Champion of the Helm, or whatever the fuck his name is when I pull it up in the notes. As far as Onyxia goes, he confirms that Onyxia is one of the dragons that he knows like was lost. And he kind of like makes a little like, terrible end, that one.
What happened?
And, he's like, funny you should mention both Onyxia and the Lord of the Skies, pausing, for effect before the statement there. He's like, in the same breath. And he says that Onyxia was taken by Alzarath, never to be seen again. Presumably murdered, in retribution for turning against her own kind.
Okay, so Nixia was murdered.
Yes, by Alzarath, according to a elf on a mountainside.
Right.
I know this is canon. And then Gavas is going to say, "We've come across the name Cade. Does that mean anything to you?"
Let me see here. Let me think about this.
He may have been a gold dragon as well, or a human.
Okay, hold on. I've got a whole fucking page and a half on.
He
here.
curses a lot too, fool.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said he curses a lot.
He's not a nice. Well, I don't know. Not is he nice?
He calls us stupid a lot too, fool.
But
He's
I mean-
he's strict but fair.
we kind of are.
Fair.
Just seem to be mean to you, Simone.
What was that, HS? You got something to say back there? You're getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't lose your robe.
What's Kythar doing over
I
there?
mean,
Kythar's
got some stuff left.
Kythar's probably ready for a Constitution save at this point, as we're continuing to listen to the crazy man. He does not recognize the name Cade, and he's like, "Cade, I've never heard of him." He's like, but it is not uncommon for names to change over the ages. He's like, an immortal creature can be known by many names.
And what we didn't catch your name.
You did not. Nobody asked him what his name was. Not that you need to. He's fucking crazy.
It's Crazy Elf. Duh.
He. Oh shit! What the fuck? I had to change my. All right, give me just a second. Next. He like shoots out a hand which emerges from the robe at about the elbow. Fingertips are like blackened with basically like frostbite.
Right.
And he like reaches out and like tries to give you a handshake, and if Reed is not like extremely careful, he's gonna like break this guy's fucking hand and fingers in a handshake. Like it looks like straw, you know what I mean? And he says, "I am Selnar." He's like, if you talk to anybody down in Frostholm, they will, and you hear them talking about somebody who is Snow Skulled, they're talking about me.
Selvar, the Snow Skull.
Yeah.
I will reach out a hand like close to his and let him make contact.
He touches you with just an icy cold fucking hand. Squeezes it with no more strength than like a person in hospice. You'd expect a person in hospice care to squeeze. Tries to do the up and down motion, but because your arm is not moving, you just see him like just like strain against your just like stocky arm, and let go. And his arm just kind of like falls limply to his side.
This guy's like gone. Does he like look like he's hurt of any kind? Like, would a lay on hands do anything here?
I mean, he
Not the
does,
source
he does he
aspect
does
of it,
not
but, like-
he does not look like he is in the best physical condition. I will say that much, and that would be obvious to read.
Yeah, I'll use like as he makes contact with me, I'll use lay on hands there.
Cool. And as you do, you like your lay on hands in this instance, like you feel like an immense chill like enter your hand from where you were laying on hands him, and like your fingertips, palm, elbow, shoulder, chest, like immediately feel as if you have been like dunked in ice yourself. But simultaneously, you can see like color returning to his fingertips. He does start to kind of like brighten up a little bit. I am assuming that we did not have anything that cures poison.
No.
Okay, great. So he's still very high. Well, medium high, I guess. He's still in an induced state.
Yeah.
But he is.
He doesn't look like he's dying anymore.
He's more vibrant. He's more vibrant than he was before. Absolutely.
His color.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of like hit the nail on your head. You guys like looked. His bedroll has ice in it. You know what I mean? Has snow in it, right? Like this guy is presumably never out of the cold. And so you like breathe a little life back into him. He perks up. His like speech doubles in quickness as he just like covers more ground more quickly about his story. Right, yeah. You've hit the 1.5 speed. Right, yeah. And at the end of his 3 hours, go ahead.
I've got
Dude's
an,
ready,
I'm,
everybody. Go ahead.
I'm gonna look
sorry.
over at Reed and be like, "Hey, fool, I got an idea."
Okay.
As
As long as it doesn't involve drugging him or hitting him.
No, fool, put the helmet on him. this guy's been living for 3,000 years. If you put the helmet on him, fool, he can be like, oh, that's, fucking this puto, and that's
Hey,
fucking this puto, and they're surrounding this thing, and
maybe that's
I
something
mean,
we don't do while he's on drugs, though.
It helps. I'm telling you.
Kaitar's gonna stop licking his fucking
You know
leaker
what?
pop.
Actually, I have go. Oh, good.
Kaitar's gonna stop licking his leaker pop. It's like, fire breath. He could do now with the helmet.
he can
We
see
don't
the
want him to do
past,
that.
fool. He can see the past, fool.
But okay.
I have an idea. If you guys want to let me try something here.
Why don't you tell us your idea?
I want to see if you can recognize one of these armor pieces. He's telling us about these ancient armor pieces. I wonder if you can recognize one, and then maybe from there, maybe he knows something about where one might be here. And I'm doing this like as I'm handing out the stew, and I'm like having these quieted conversations with them.
And there's just, double speed, fucking ADHD, just hyper spinning on a story to a figment, which, like, has been going on for so long, has, like, started to, like, flicker and is like, yes, tell me more. You know what I mean? Is, like, it's just, like, the magic is starting to, like, degrade because of just, like, how long that this, like, it's not intended to, like, be maintained for this long kind of thing. And, like, Simone's really having to, like, work at it to maintain it at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you guys think?
Uh,
I mean, what have we got to lose?
Nothing.
nothing.
Selvar, if I can interject.
He's like, what? Yes,
I wanna-
you have more questions for me of my tail.
I want to loop back to these armor pieces you were talking about. We've
He's like,
see,
yes, Skyfall, yes.
See, we're collectors, if you will, and we're looking for ancient armor pieces. We're wondering if you could recognize one if you saw it.
And he says, oh yes, absolutely, I would recognize it.
Could you tell me if this is one of the ancient armor pieces of the ancient warrior? And I'm gonna hold out the shield.
You pull the shield from your back and like place it within view of him for the first time, and he, like, his eyes go saucer wide. He like drops to his
I'm gonna-
knees and like grips both sides of the shield, like can't lift it, but like puts his face like right next to it and is, like 2 inches from it, and it's just like so fucking. He's like, and it's just he's back to making crazy excited noises.
Is that a confirmation?
He's like, it's the prophecy, and he's just like,
The shield of prophecy.
and he's like, yes, and he's like pointing to the shield, and he's like pointing to like the walls around him, and he's like, prophecy, and he's just screaming the word prophecy over and over again at this point.
And I'm gonna can I try like a diplomacy roll to like calm him down here before I give him the next armor piece?
Yeah, but it's gonna be like a 40. DC.
That's fine. Maybe I'll get really lucky then.
Did Kaitar punch him to calm him down?
If by calming him down
No.
you may knock him out, then yeah, absolutely.
The dude has like 10 hit points.
I could do non-lethal.
You'll just knock him out.
I will honor the natural 20 on that, because that's literally as close to 40 as you can get. But I will say this, that calm is a very relative state. You've just got him to stop screaming prophecy over and over again, but he's still visibly like trembling, shaking, and just like white knuckle clutching your fucking shield.
I'm gonna we're like, okay, I need you to be very delicate with this next one and not freak out. and I'm gonna hand out the. I'm gonna like hold the helmet out, but I'm not gonna let go of it.
He probably like reacts to it in a similar way, but he's almost like a dog with two tennis balls, right? Like he wants to hold and touch both of them and like inspect them both, but his attention's like kind of like going back and forth with one or the other, and he'll like let go of the shield for a second to like put both hands on the helmet, and then he'll like let go of the helmet and he like puts one hand on each of the others, and he's like, you can feel him like dragging the two, like putting pressure on the two items, trying to like bring them together, to like physically be in contact with it. Like you can feel him like pushing the like your hands on either side, trying to like connect them.
Can I ask why you're trying to connect them or push them together?
He says, "They go together, they go together," and he's just like trying to like physically push them together.
And I'm gonna like, okay, gently, and then I'm gonna like let him guide me gently to like push them together. I'm gonna like, if he's not doing it gently, I'm gonna like resist enough so that it goes together gently.
Sounds great. You begin putting these items together, and the closest they've ever been up until now was the distance between Reed's chin
My head.
and his mid chest, right? And so as they're getting closer and closer together, there is like an audible frequency which begins to
Like a warbling?
Yeah, like a warbling. And I would like Arcana checks from my trained magic users, which are Simone and Atesk.
Arcana?
Arcana, yeah, is what I want.
Trained. Rowan's also trained.
I'll take one from Rowan as well. He's got a
cool.
different flavor of magic here.
Good rolls. Good rolls.
Not so
Okay.
good roll.
You know nothing.
Yeah, Atesk, you know something is happening right now, but you're not sure what. Rowan, you know. Well, and I will rephrase that. Atesk, you know these items are interfacing with each other in some unknown way, right? Rowan, you can tell that these items are interfacing with each other, and you can identify the like frequency of it as the same, almost like humming or like tinnitus ringing that he had in his own ears when he like reached in and like touched the roots at the jungle, the magic jungle god hole for the first time. Like he can identify like a vein that travels through the two of them. Simone also touched those and can also identify that vein as relating to that. And he has enough of a knowledge base to know that that this is like whatever's, he doesn't know what's going to happen, but he has a strong suspicion that whatever happens when these two things come together will be noticed by anyone with any kind of magical inclination in both Frostholm and the like mountain here. Like this is going to be extremely noticeable, whatever is happening here. So as he's like pushing it, Reed is like slowing it down so that it's like controlled, but they're like within inches of each other as all of this knowledge is landing on you guys.
Yeah, Simone's gonna be like, "Stop that! Don't do that, fool!"
And
Yeah,
I'm immediately gonna go back.
Yeah.
This-
And just a pained cry from Cell. He's like, "Ah! No, they go together! They go together! You got it! You got it!"
Hang on, maybe I have a consolation
knock
prize
him
for
out.
you.
Arthur,
No, don't knock him out.
Arthur,
Not
knock him out.
yet. Let me try this first.
He's like fully on the shield, like trying to like put. He's got his feet against your chest, and is like holding the shield with one hand and the helmet with the other, Reed, and it's just like pushing on you while like trying to use you as leverage to get nowhere near strong enough to make this happen, you know, but is
Arthur, knock
desperate.
him out.
Maybe.
Carther smash. Carther's gonna rear back.
Right there, wait.
Ah.
Maybe you'd like to wear the helmet instead.
Kythar, are you hitting this gentleman?
I'm like between the two of them.
Your hands are
so
occupied,
I
and you've
punched
got
her.
a dude on you, man. You got to let go of
That's
something if you're
two,
going to do
aren't
that.
Ooh. Odd was yes. No was even. So yeah.
Kythar comes and cracks this guy. Just roll attack. Roll.
Non-lethal.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah, non-lethal.
Well, he's rolling.
Kythar, hurry up! Hurry up,
I'm
Kythar.
gonna put my card down and say, 2 pair. What do you got, a Tesk?
So he has more
Ace,
than
ace
9
high.
hit points.
Ace high.
I did heal him for 36.
Kythar, that doesn't have your attack modifier on it. You just rolled a flat d20.
My bad. Okay. Non-lethal on
I'm
armed.
gonna look over at Galfast and be like, Galfast, why's your mouth blue, fool?
What? Is my mouth blue? It's
Hobbling.
cold.
It's
I think I'm
cold.
rolling.
Have
It's
you
good
been
thing I'm
eating?
rolling low.
Have you been eating sausages, fool?
No. You calling me a liar?
Kythar, you go to swing at this guy. He fully moves himself behind the shield, and you just bare knuckle the shield of prophecy, just dong as you go to crack this guy, and he moves super fucking quick and just straight up little guy scampers behind the other side of the shield and out of your strike zone.
What is this AC?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
So Kythar has punched the
Kythar's
shield of prophecy. Reed, you have quite literally your hands full at this point. Rest of the party. We just having some popcorn?
Yeah. Stu.
I'm waiting for.
That's cool.
What
No?
about Tyler and Atesk? What are you guys doing?
Do I have to make 2 choices?
Or, sorry,
No.
no. Atesk and Galfast, I meant. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think Galfast has specifically chosen to play cards, but he may have something else.
I don't care about the.
Yeah.
Has the kid got anything else to say? I don't know. He owes me money. I mean, what the? Need to be made whole.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm telling Kythar to knock out the guy.
Okay, so
well,
Simone
can
is
you pay me
ending on
first?
Kythar. Right, yeah. Galfast is looking for money.
Galfast would not care.
I didn't think so, yeah.
Kythar is gonna do another unarmed attack with his other arm.
Okay,
Well,
Reed, you now have an opportunity to respond.
Reed.
Your hands are full. This dude is on
Hey,
you.
wait. Do you want to wear the helmet instead? Maybe that'll calm you down. Kythar, give me a second.
He's rearing back. So
I'm asking Selvar if he would wear the helmet instead as a
player
consolation
actions
prize.
take priority over NPC actions. Kythar, does it appear as if you were going to strike this guy? You're rearing back
I'm waiting on his response.
and holding. Great, got it. Rearing back and holding. Rearing back and holding. Do you want to wear this instead? He stops. He's like, yeah. He's yes.
Okay, now be very careful. It can breathe dragon fire, and this is not the place to do that.
But the prophecy. It speaks true.
But you
It speaks
can,
true.
but you can see into the past, and we want to know what you see.
He says, I always see into the past. He's like, more now than ever before. And eyes
And then
wide, mouth blue.
I'm gonna hold the helmet on above him. Are you ready?
He kind of drops from the helmet and puts his hands flat palmed on either side of the helmet, on the outside of your hands, and kind of in the same way is trying to drag it down to his head, but you're much stronger than he is, so it won't go unless you.
I'm gonna gently pull it down on his head, and then whenever he starts seeing things, I'm gonna put the shield on my back so he can't bonk his head on it.
Sounds good. You put the helmet on him, and as you do, fortunately, you guys are in a cave, So the thing in the past he sees is his cave without his drawings. I guess you guys don't necessarily know that. But as he like puts it on, he just exclaims, "The prophecy! My drawings! Not my hard work! It took me a millennia!" And he like runs over to the wall and is like touching it, and he's like, "I can feel it! It's still here! I can feel it!" He's like, "But I can't see it!"
Do you want us to take you to the mountainside?
And he's like, "The mountainside!" And he like turns and looks towards the opening of the cave and bolts out the mouth of the cave.
He's in front of me, correct?
I mean, I'm going to say that Reed purposefully took a step back to keep the shield away from him, so he's out of arm's reach of Reed.
Is he in front of
Grab
Kaithar?
him quick!
Kaithar was waiting. Yeah, he was raging by the door. He in the I guess that this is hours later. So the effect is worn off. But Kaithar's probably a little sluggish because this is like took a small dose of this drug, but it's worn off, and now he's on the sluggish side.
He's a professional drunk. Okay, so Kaithar is gonna go and try to grapple him.
Sounds great. I will take an athletics check, but I want it with disadvantage, as it's not just the drink, but also the sorcerer's smile you picked out of his teeth that you are recovering from. But a 19's fucking solid. 19 resulting in 42 is super fucking solid. So yeah, this guy's like, oh no, wait, was that
16? That was a 19 and a 16.
Wow, that's great. I'm like, wait, did you roll with advantage? No, that was just 2 rolls. Yeah, Kaithar snatches this dude up, and he like straight up cartoon, legs are still going as you just like lift him up off the ground. And he's like, I must see.
We'll take you there. We don't want you to fall off. We don't want to lose the helmet.
Come. You would tell us what you see, and then you would tell me about Woodendale. I will carry you there.
So you're physically like hoisting him and like carrying him along, Kaithar?
I have him by a non-lethal grapple around his neck.
No, I get that. No, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. You're just not letting go of it. That's perfect. That's great. I love that. So as you like take him and carry him, he like points up the mountains, and he like turns his head suddenly, and like looks up at the sky, and he's like, oh my god!
Oh my what?
Oh my god! And he's this totally exasperated deal, and you watch him track something imaginary in the sky, jaw on the fucking floor, just like watching. I mean, it'd be the equivalent of like a 5-year-old watching the big, helicopters that dump water. You know what I mean? Like with that level of just like excitement into the sky.
Do you see the ice dragon that used to roam here in the past?
He looks here and says, "Give me just a second. I gotta do some stuff."
Ooh, are you pulling up something on the...
I might be.
Ooh.
I might be.
Map change!
Let me see here. He is...
The ice dragon that currently exists.
God damn it. Where the fuck did I put that? I only have like 30 pages on Frostholm. It shouldn't be that hard to find. And another 60 pages on the rest of the world. Okay, give me a second. He name drops the dragon. He's like, it's not just any frost dragon. He says, that's... And then name drops him, whatever the fuck his name is. Velithrax, or, whatever the fuck his name is. Which is a name that is not familiar to, like, you guys from your previous studies, but did come up in his saga a couple of times as, like, one of the dragons that was involved in the, creation of the Skyfall set that you guys are all seeking.
Oh, shit. What armor... Did they help create the entire armor piece, or the armor set?
That was, like... He was talking about that shit, like, an hour ago. So, like I said, this is just, like, ringing as familiar... As he, like... That's not just any frost dragon, that's... And I really think it might be Velithrax. It's something like that.
Velithrax. Canon.
Well, hold on, because I want to actually change it in my notes. Because if you have one name in your notes and I have a different name in my notes, that's going to be real fucky for us later. Yep. Nope. No, that's the goddess. No, Velthara is the fucking. God damn it, you guys.
But a good goddamn it?
No, I wrote too much. I wrote too much. Okay, I was close. Varanix. Varranyx. Varanix the Eternal Gale is who he name drops that dragon as. Yeah. So there you go. And he wants to go up the mountain. He's like trying to go up the stairs as he like stops tracking this thing and says, "Now we have to get to the top! I must see!"
Varanix the what?
The Eternal Gale. Like a gust of wind is a gale.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted it for my notes.
Yeah, that's fair. Cool. So name's dropped. So you ask, "Are you seeing the frost dragon?" He says, "Not just any frost dragon. That's Varanix, the Eternal Gale. The prophecy. He's been. I can't." And he faints. He just passes out. He's just completely overwhelmed. Goes limp in your arms, Kythar. And just passes out.
Kythar was like,
Super excited, reaching ragdoll.
He owes me money. You guys killed him.
I just drop him in the snow. I was like, oh, okay.
No, he's gonna freeze if you leave him
I'm
there.
about to say, dump. He like clunks down a couple of stairs and like rolls off the major pathway onto a slab of ice nearby.
Good to have it.
I'm gonna pick him up, and we'll carry him the rest of the way. We'll wake him up when we get there.
Splash a bucket
And I
of
will
ice
take
water
the
on him?
helmet off so he doesn't wake up with the helmet on.
That's not a bad idea.
You basically gave him a fucking heart attack or a stroke.
You guys, it will take you probably an hour or two to like climb these steps via like mundane means. It's not a big deal, but I do want to just like, it's not like you go up 30 steps and you're there, right? Like you guys are continuing to climb. Visibility gets worse. The weather gets more inclement. You start hearing the sounds of thunder. You guys are forced to kind of like compact yourselves all together because like the gusts of wind are so strong that the half elves are literally being like buffeted and would be like carried off the stairs, if not like grounded and like gripped by the heavier members of the party. Like the levels of winds are that strong that a 30-pound elf could literally not keep their own footing without some kind of assistance, right? And you guys climb. You guys can always interject. While we were climbing, But I'm going to show you guys what's at the top of the stairs. As you guys hit the top of the stairs, towering, as you kind of like come around a bend, you pass the mural, you continue traveling for a while, and there are like miscellaneous like statues and things as you get taller, but the ones near the top are like pillars that loosely resemble human form, because like they have been buffeted by wind and ice and snow so much that like there are no more fingers on the hands. Like they look like mittens. Like everybody looks like Gumby because there's no definition left on them, right? And there's just like I said, like two. I describe them as like two skyscrapers of ice, and this is pretty damn near accurate to what you guys are seeing as you're kind of like climbing these stairs with this unconscious fucking elf over your shoulder, who has like come to once or twice, like muttered something crazy and then passed out again, like in the hour or two that you guys have been traveling. But you get to the base of this. AI generation is not perfect, obviously. So in addition to this, there is that There are a couple of big statues. Because they're so huge, they do have a little bit of definition on them of the Skylord, Velnar, whatever Papa Storm's name is.
Mhm.
And like kind of like off to the side. You know, I come up with cool names. I write them down. I say them out loud, and then they get forgotten immediately and replaced with other names. So I'm just kind of getting ahead of the game there. They're like kind of off to the side. From this perspective, it would be like down in this pit kind of thing, right? Like it's beside the temple, but like I said, it's not like built into the infrastructure or anything. And there is, it's like obvious to you guys that this is the source of the inclement weather, right? Like the thunderclaps that you're hearing are coming from this. There's like lightning that's literally coming down and like striking it and arcing off, different energy as they go. The like wind and snow as it passes almost turn into like a vortex in the area around the energy itself. And at the top of the stairs is like a huge ice doorway, frosted doorway. I mean, it looks like the Snow Queen's, castle kind of thing. Like it's definitely a door on hinges, but it's also made completely of ice and sleet and snow. And so
Are there people in front of it?
You guys are here.
there
There's people in front of it, yeah. And Joe, Reed knows this as the like temple, the like sky temple, whatever the fucking people below call it. Like this is where the god lives, quote unquote, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you were to walk into Frostholm and be like, hey, tell me about the Stormlord, they'll be like, he lives at the top of the mountain, right? Like, like that would be the answer they'd have for you. This is the top of the mountain.
And there are like people guarding the door, though, correct?
No, there's not a soul up here.
Oh, okay. Nobody up there. Do we want to wake him up now and put the helmet on him, or do we want to get into the temple first?
Let's get
Rowan's
into the
gonna say,
temple.
Temple's best.
Okay, we will go into the temple, or we will make our way up the stairs, I suppose, first.
Yeah, you guys climb these steps, which bring you to almost at a like Chernobyl level like height, where you can peek down and look into this like storm bowl. And Galfast, it reminds you of your hole that has the like space, the like galaxies dimension. Like it is very like reminiscent of that, where if instead of galaxies you had like a pure storm energy, you know what I mean? Like it would be kind of the same as looking in, where instead of like nebulas and stars and like streaking cosmic energy, you have this very like quote unquote grounded, because it's all lightning and ice and all that stuff, but swirling and interacting in a way that like, you'd almost certainly die, but if you jumped into the hole, it might take you somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like it could be like a rip in space time. Like it reminds you very much of the hole. The magic users, a Tesk has probably come across stuff like this in theory before and knows how like extremely volatile it is. Simone, being the cautious person he is probably remembering his other experiences being around stuff like this, and it just reads dangerous to him, right? But you guys have to essentially like stand over it in order to walk up these stairs to get up to the temple. So you guys like climb these steps and get to like the top of that rim, basically, and there is like a straight up voice that emanates out of it, and the voice comes out: "Who climbs the storm stair to the temple of Haldar?"
It'd be I, Simone, puto.
And read round bottom.
Yeah, and I'm gonna turn around and be like, "Fools, come on, say your name, fool."
A servant of Iomade.
The name's Galfast.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a Tusk. I just got here.
And
Kythar, son of Kyth.
and this is our new friend Selvar, who is a worshiper of the gods here.
And the voice answers back, Selvar is the only names of these I know.
I'm sorry to hear that.
We're new friends of Selvar's. And I'm gonna try and jostle him awake.
And as you jostle him awake, he just starts. We're at the top. We're here. And he's turning around rapidly. And he holds his head, realizes he's not wearing the helmet.
I didn't want you to wake up with it on. They're asking us who we are.
He's like, it is. He's wiggling Kythar. He's like, you got it. You gotta let me. I got it. You got it. And he's obviously trying to get loose.
You don't want to fall in.
Who's holding? I thought Kythar was holding him. Reader, you holding him?
I'm holding him.
Oh yeah.
He fell down the stairs.
You dropped him.
Oh, that's right.
I accidentally, allegedly.
Allegedly. As he's trying to shake himself loose, and he's like, yes, it is I. Cell is here. I'm here. He's like, the prophecy. They're bringers. They have with them almost a dragon. And they've shown me Varanax, whatever the fuck his name is. Varanax. Yeah, fuck yeah, Varanax. They've shown me Varanax, and they carry the shield of prophecy and the helm.
The 4 wins.
Are you correcting him? Are you dropping the rest of the name?
No. I thought you were trying to search for it.
No. I remember the main plot items. I remember the names of absolutely. As all of this happens, there is a deep rumble, and storm clouds that have already started to swirl begin to drop hail the size of footballs, and lightning strikes, and all of this stuff is landing in the stairs and the space between where you guys are and the top of the temple, right? And the voice, returns and booms out, and says, only the worthy are entitled to climb the stair of storms, and stand in the glory of Heldar's temple. Cell is worthy. The rest of you have not yet proven yourselves as such.
And how do we prove ourselves, Puto?
Lightning, fucking hail, above the clattering of it all, as a bunch of these huge pieces of ice just tumble down the mountains on either side, and you watch them as they break apart immediately stick to stuff, and the surrounding area is just so fucking cold that stuff doesn't bounce for very long. It just kind of hits something, the two cold items flash freeze together, and all the bits and pieces stop flying. In response to what do we do, the answer to that is you must earn the favor of the Oath Keepers. Oath Keepers, Reed probably recognizes as the religious, as the religious half of the. I'm sorry, guys. I came up with the name a long time ago. I came up with it they stole it from me, okay?
You must make America great again.
You must make Frostholm great again. You must. There have been unfavorables entering Frostholm, and you must build a wall to keep them out. No.
The big lie.
Oh
I'm
man.
sorry, Dave. I'm sorry. It was just right there.
No, and that's fair. And I had admittedly forgotten that there's a major racist organization referred to as the Oath Keepers. Maybe I'll change that name. I don't know. But for now, that's the fucking name because that's what's in my notes. And Reed, you understand them as it's not a perfect analogy, right? But you understand them as almost like the governing body. Like they're like a governing body that's somewhere between your harbingers at home and your justicars. You know what I mean? Like they're part government, but also they're the ones who like keep the traditions of this place. And like I said, you don't know really what a lot of the specifics are, but you know that like this is one of, if not the big deal group down in Frostholm.
Yeah.
Right? And
They are the big deal
yeah,
in
yeah.
Frostholm.
The big deal in Frostholm. And the voice is telling you that like you must earn their favor. And Cell kind of like picks up where he left off, and is like, yes, only the heir to the Sky Throne. Yes, only the heir to the Sky Throne, chosen by Velnar, the fucking Storm Dad, Halgrim, as chosen by Halgrim himself, is worthy of ascending the steps and leading the city below. And what he's describing to you guys is like a Imperial Japan style like legacy where like there is a specific person and lineage that is like chosen to lead, chosen by the god that is the voice in this mountain, and you guys are not that person, right? And I will go so far as to say that the voice probably name drops the current leader, the current like person who holds that title, the Stormlord, the Stormlord of Frostholm, and the voice says the current Stormlord is Varric Hailcrown, and until Hailcrown is no more or deemed unworthy, there will only be one Stormlord, and only he will be entitled to ascend the steps.
Okay. I'm trying to follow along here. So we have to get the favor of the Proud Boys, and then
the Proud Boys, the Proud Boys who have instituted a king. That king's name is Varric, and he's the only one who's allowed up here.
Okay, all right.
But he just said he said Cell could pass. He said he's also worthy.
He did say that. That's true. Are you pointing that out in character, or are you just talking about?
No, I'm trying to like. No, I'm not rebuking that.
Okay, great. Well, this is the answer you get. The storm is still kind of like fucking raging up here. You know, it looks dangerous.
Okay,
you guys have been in dangerous stuff. Like I would say that it.
Yeah.
You guys might be able to brute force through this if you're not interested in going back down and dealing with all that stuff. But there are definitely some like forces at play here, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, time is of the essence as the forces of Saltwing, the undead dragon, and Nox, and the College of Arcane Arts and an army of kobolds attack the land.
We believe they're.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. No, you go, Reed.
No, we believe they're trying to revive. We almost have evidence that they're trying to revive the great dragon Alzareth. The city of Othiris.
As you say,
the city of Othiris is mounting an attack. Right, is beginning to mount an attack.
And we have came here for one of the pieces of the Skyfall set to help defeat the dragons.
And we haven't met King Varric yet, but we're a good group of guys. I'm sure we'd all get along. That's no big deal.
Well,
We
what I'm
simply
saying-
seek knowledge.
Yeah, and a piece of the Skyfall set.
That is.
And time is of the essence.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
And if you need us to roll diplomacy, because there's 3 of us who talked.
I know, and
Yeah.
I this is one of those really specific roles that I have to determine if a highest roll possible will have. You know what I mean? Like, is this worth asking for a roll? Because once I ask for it, if you roll a natural 20, then I've written myself into a corner here, right? So I'm like truly thinking about like, would this being
God.
like be
If we get 3 natural 20s.
right? Could this being be swayed by this?
And we're being honest and true too. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
which
we are,
is yeah, no, that's great.
which is against our nature.
No, this is really interesting having you guys here in this spot. Let me say this: you've got some quiet members of the party. You guys got anything to say to push your party's policy forward? Your goals?
Tesk is still a little traumatized by his previous contributions. So we're dealing with another all-powerful entity. He's not really that interested in piping up.
And putting his money where his mouth is, so to speak, or putting his foot in his mouth.
Not this time. Not this particular one.
Yeah. God damn it.
Banjo's gonna walk up and he's gonna cough a few times and then grunt. And say, that was good. That was good, Banjo. Thank you. Well said. That came from the heart.
I know you're like wiping a tear from your eye.
He has such a way with words.
Did he say anything? I didn't hear.
A true troubadour.
The linguist of our time.
I know. Who are you whispering to, Tess?
Just the party in general.
I think Rowan would be the only other person to be able to understand him, right?
I know. Who's cutting onions?
That's funny as hell. Yeah, guys. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna ask for the diplomacy checks because it's one of those things where you guys are coming into this blind, and it's kind of like when when Simone in The Great Below like hit all the prophecy notes and like said the right things to the right people. Like, you guys are definitely on track, and it wasn't a perfect motivator or like a perfect plea. But I will take diplomacy checks from you guys here.
I'm going to use one of my hero points to roll with advantage.
Same.
Cool.
And I'm gonna give him guidance. Boop.
Okay.
Who are you giving guidance?
Simone.
Okay.
I see a roll from Rowan. Did he say anything during this interaction? And same for Kythar. Has he spoken about? Oh no, that's not athletics check. She's being. Simone's got his diplomacy out there. Galfast has got his. Those are the 3 people who I know spoke. Great. So then, that is
Interesting.
because 30 is considered like a baseline here, and I think because the average is above 30. Here's what happens. The like hail clears and the lightning strikes begin to get like whereas they've been more like constant, they become like more erratic, right? Winds and snows begin to like pick up and buffet, and unless somebody like physically hangs on to a Tesk and Simone, they are going off the mountain right now. So 2 of you need to, if they're not going to save themselves, 2 of you need to devote at least 1 hand apiece to them as we're going through here.
Do you want a reflex or an athletics?
You guys can see it coming. It's like a build, so I'm not gonna ask for a reflex or an athletics right now. I just need to know how those two are not being blown off the mountain.
I'm going
I
to take some rope out of my bag and I'm going to hand it over to Kythar. And be like, be my rock, fool.
Kythar wraps the end of the rope to his wrist a couple times and gets good hold of it.
And so you've got Simone tethered, so he's like gripping onto the rope with all of his strength to like not go off the edge. But even if he were to completely lose it, it's tied around him, and you would basically fly Simone like a kite. Is your worst case scenario here? Atesk, how are you not getting blown off this mountain?
Yeah, that is a really good question. I'm probably just gonna cast
Okay, good.
fly again.
Cool.
So that you are blown off?
No, he has control, so he can. I think he can, like, he can basically like run into the wind with his fly spell. I think is his thought process, and like as long as his move speed is the same or greater than the wind speed, he'll like cancel it out. That's your loose plan, Atesk. Does that sound right?
Roughly, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, bud. I need every single person in the party to make a reflex save. Kythar's doing it at disadvantage. Reed is doing it at disadvantage. I need a reflex save from everybody else.
Okay.
Did I roll a nat 1? No, not me.
That was me.
Okay.
Dang. We hit low rolls this time.
Kythar rolled a 7.
Wow, Kythar, that was a disadvantage roll?
Yeah, that was disadvantage.
Jesus, man, you've got like
Keep low
you're
rolls.
rolling at disadvantage and clearing 35. The other guys are rolling flat and barely creeping above 20. That is nuts.
I also rolled a 3. That's the problem. I have
Yeah.
a reflex of 21, but I rolled. Really
Oh,
well.
that's tough.
Yeah.
A test, and then we got Rowan. So Rowan got great.
Do you want to think about that? We can take a little break.
No.
or-
I think I'm going to push through, and we're going to end early because I think this will be a nice dramatic note to end on. As a test casts his fly spell on the stairs, just a stone's throw from this magical energy pit, which we know these things love to suck up magic and do just crazy shit in response. You guys watch his spell go off, extra energy be siphoned from it as all of the energy condenses into the hole. Electric energy surges out of it. Ice shards blow holes through all of you guys, turning you into lightning charred icicle Swiss cheese. Everybody who failed reflex save takes full damage. That's 49. Everybody who made it gets half of that much damage. Kythar and Atesk, congratulations. You guys succeeded on your rolls. So you're only taking 25 damage, rounded up. As this thing just fucking this hole basically like blows apart from an energy standpoint. The pole is still there, but there are huge chunks of ice being thrown against the mountain. You watch what almost look like, from your perspective, it looks like there is a 56 like cannon like ship that's just parked on top of here, firing off cannonballs of ice that just go flying in like all directions, omnidirectional from this pit. And as it does, there is a brief window where the conditions settle in front of you on the stairs. You guys now have to make a split-second decision what you are doing now, whether you're going to try and run this gap or you're going to wait and negotiate with this being. I am getting those answers from you guys right now. Aaron, what is Galfast doing?
Okay, so I have to. It's go back from the broken stairs or negotiate with the Bing?
Yeah, so an explosion has happened. All of the energy was concentrated in the hole, which is now blown up. And so there's no lightning in front of you, there's no hail in front of you. But like this is a moment, right? This is a time is dilated here, and we're not taking 6-second turns. We're taking half of 1 second right now, right? You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Got it. Yeah, I know. Okay, so I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna use my grapple. I'm gonna shoot the gap, and I'm gonna climb across.
Okay,
I'll
great.
leave my grapple there for anyone else.
Galfast shoots his grapple. Simone, how does Simone react? He sees
Simone,
Galfast shoot the grapple. It looks like he is obviously trying to shoot this gap and get up these stairs.
So he's trying to get up the stairs to get back onto the platform with the Stormfather, right?
You guys are all on the stairs. The energy has just hit you from the hole. You guys have not been completely blown off. You guys have just taken a shit ton of damage.
Okay, so it did move us. It did move us.
It scooted you, but you guys are still like on the stairway. Like so you guys are literally, if the pit is here, you guys are standing here. A test cast fly. The pit blows up. You guys slide slightly down the stairs from the source, the impact, right? But now this whole space in front of you is clear because all the energy got concentrated in the hole. Galfast is shooting that gap to get up to the top of the stairs.
Gotcha. I'm taking a health potion.
Okay.
And then I'm grabbing the grappling hook and continuing on.
Great, love that. Reed, you have a cell over your shoulder. What are you doing?
I am going to drink a health potion with the other, and then raise the shield above my head, protecting both me and Cell, and I'm running.
Give me a reflex save. No, give me a.
Do I get my health potion first?
No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want a reflex save. Take your health potion. You throw the shield over your head, and you've like heard tale that like allegedly what this thing does is it repels dragonfire, but you have not. You've only been in one battle that had dragonfire involved, and you were at a different point in the battle. You like were on portal duty and not on dragonfighting duty, right? You throw this thing over your head as this magic like arcs, and it disappears in a flash. The rest of you guys see it almost like absorbed into the shield, and like what should have turned Reed into a lightning rod because it's all metal works in exactly the opposite way as it hits the shield and is absorbed instead as he's like kind of like covering and moving like more slowly because he's encumbered and the magic is like kicking up and licking at his heels, but the shield is effectively keeping it 100% off of him. Kythar, most of your team is charged up that hill. Where are you going? You muted.
Kythar looking back at Rowan, basically seeing him stunned because, just heads up, Rowan's at 14 HP.
Cool.
So he's fucking not doing great.
Yeah.
Kythar grabs him and hustles up to and leaps towards the grapple to get himself to safety with the rest of the group.
Cool. Sounds great. I would have asked for a roll had you not specifically mentioned that you were going for the grapple. So I'm going to give you a high five. Good job, player there, making your smart moves and avoiding potential disaster. That leaves our buddy Simone, who his choice, unless he's going to cut that rope, his choice is kind of limited. He's getting dragged behind Kythar one way or the other, unless he's got something else he's doing.
No, I'm going with Kythar.
You're going with Kythar,
up, right?
You guys are going up? Yeah, that's great. So I wanted to make sure, because I realized I asked you first. I'm like, but wait, he is tethered to Kythar. But you guys are both going the same direction. Yeah. That's perfect. Atesk, you're our last boy. You've got a fly spell
I'm just gonna
up.
fly.
Yeah, it did go off. I am going to take an your choice of acrobatics or athletics check to navigate through the just like shockwave of the fucking explosion.
Then I will do this. I will warp step over there.
That is a much safer move.
Another spell.
From your position. Well, he did get blown away some from the whole. Let's see here. That's a
Did
cantrip.
you say his
So
whole blew him away?
we'll say it's got less of a magical charge to it as a cantrip, mostly because I don't want to kill my boy here over an environmental. And I think it is reasonable that as he's like casting this fly spell, the shockwave comes through, blows him back hella. He's like out of range, especially because Atesk has done this twice now. So I think he has a pretty good idea of what the range of the holes are. And so warp steps, joins the rest of the party at the top of the stairs, and you guys like reach the top here. As you do, a huge blue lightning charge comes down from the sky, lands like in between you guys and the door, like on that kind of landing platform at the top of the stairs here. And when the smoke clears, there is Halgrim, I think is his name.
Halgrim?
Halgrim is standing in front of you guys. The Stormfather, this like Nordic dwarvish god with glowing eyes and a magical aura, unlike almost anything else that you guys have seen up until this point, is like standing before you. You guys have like dealt with like holes and dreams and a little bit more like abstract stuff. For the first time, there is an actual literal god standing in front of you guys at the top of this platform. And I think this is a great place to end our session. And he'll have some shit to say to you guys when we pick up again next week. And we'll see if you can make it into the temple.
Cool. Sounds good.
Cool.
Why do we keep on pissing off gods?
You know?
Well, we don't know that he's pissed off.
I mean,
He could just be really unhappy.
I'm pretty sure. It's just happy. It's best to assume that we just pissed him off. Just saying.
you know, so you guys will have a whole week to decide what the best way to approach this is. You know, you've been deemed.
All right.
You have not yet been deemed worthy, but maybe you can change his mind. You know, you guys are.
I'm willing. I'm willing to do a sacrifice and a test. I'm willing to sacrifice him for the god. Okay, that's what gods
That's clear.
want.
That's clear.
Gods want sacrifices. Let's give them what they want.
What if his sacrifice was no more alcohol?
Fuck that god.
I don't need that god. Ah, buddy. I appreciate you guys like pushing through. I know we didn't have a break, but you know, I really wanted to kind of get to a beat, and we've hit that now here. So I appreciate you guys like pushing a little bit through that. And we'll see you guys next week at 7, and we'll fucking pick it up again and do some more stuff. Thanks for being here, guys. You're all great.
Cool.
Cool.
Good.
All right.
Night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys. All right. With that, we are done. I just got to see if I've got the people in my pockets for a raid. Which I don't. So I will just end it here, and we'll see you guys later. Peace out.